Let's start this morning in a child's pose with your knees wide and your toes together. If you find that this morning you need a little bit of time to settle in to your child's pose, you can always use your hands, stack your hands, and then rest your forehead. Alternatively, you can stretch your arms forward. Start by taking a few deep breaths. You're breathing slowly in through the nose, filling your lungs, the ribs, and your belly. And then completely releasing all air on the exhale. Take a nice long breath out. Now focus on these cleansing breaths here. Very gently, you can rock your forehead from side to side. Massage your brow bone, relax that space between the eyebrows. Now lift your head, walk your hands to the right, and then lower your head back down. You might place the right hand on top of the left. And gently drawing back through the left shoulder, drawing back through the left hip. Now lift your head, walk your hands to the left. This time, placing your left hand on top, lower your forehead down, drawing back through the right shoulder and the right hip. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw, can you relax your jaw, soften the entire face here. And then with an inhale, lift your head, walk your hands through center, and bring yourself into a tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. You can start with a few cat-cows here. You're lifting your tail, dropping your belly, lift your chest and head. And then start at the tailbone, round the spine, push your shoulder blades to the sky, chin to chest. And as you're flowing here, again, you want to keep your breath nice and steady. Your body moves at the same rhythm as your breath. Imagining that the breath flows into every space in your body. So currently, as we wake up the spine, you're imagining the breath being sent into the spine between the vertebrae, creating more space, not only in the skeletal system, also in the muscles, the organs. Bring yourself into a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes and let's come into a downward facing dog. As you come into your down dog, take a few moments. You don't have to rush. You can start by pedaling the heels down one at a time. If this is the first down dog of the day for you, then you might feel like the backs of the legs need a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra care this morning. So grounding through the heels, really feeling how deep into the back of the legs this stretch flows. Maybe just the shin for you. Maybe you notice all the way up into the upper thigh and the hips and the glutes. Push both heels to the ground. Look forward, and as you inhale, bring it into a plank position. Shoulders are strong. You're pushing the shoulder blades towards the sky and lifting your navel towards the spine. And your hips are a little bit higher. We never want to dip down into the low back here. Shift forward. Come to your knees and then lower all the way to your belly. Baby Cobra, lift your heart. And on the exhale, bring yourself back into a tabletop. And this time from your table, you can send your right leg back. You're kicking through the right heel. Now, if you look back, your right toes are pointing straight to the ground. If the toes are pointing to the wall, this means that the hips are not aligned. Right toes pointing to the ground, hips are square, belly to the spine, and then the left arm extends forward. Really focus on stretching in opposite directions. You're kicking through the heel, and reaching through the arm. And on the exhale, you can bring your knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend opposite directions. Exhale, contract through the mid-body. Try not to swing the arm and the leg. Inhale, extend. Again, exhale, contract. 2 more. Extend through the inhale, reach. Nice and controlled exhale, knee and elbow together. 1 more, inhale. And on the exhale, last one, contract. Lower your hand and lower the knee. Tuck your toes, come back into a down dog. This time you want to lift your right leg. Now again, the right toes are pointing straight down. This means that the hips are square. And on your exhale, bring the knee to nose. Again, don't swing the leg. Instead, draw the knee to the nose with control. Inhale, kick back. And on your exhale, step into a warrior 1. Lower the back heel. Inhale, the arms come up. Now in this pose, you're lunging, pushing through the outer edge of the back foot and the arms extend to the sky, lift the heart. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, use the muscles in the mid-back. Cactus the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Bring the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, the right thumb over the left. Lift the heart. And on the exhale, humble warrior, fold forward. Right shoulder to the right thigh. And relax your head. Continue to push through the outer edge of the back foot as you lunge forward here. The arms continue to lift. And on your exhale, lower your hands, wide leg forward fold. Walk your hands to the left. Turn both feet to the left. You can take your halfway lift, extend the spine, and then fold forward. You might pulse here, so as you inhale, you lengthen. And on the exhale, fold forward. 1 more here, inhale, lengthen. This time, you're in a halfway lift. Turn the toes out, heels in, and let's side lunge to the right, Chandrasana. So you're bending into the right knee. You can come onto the heel of that left foot. You're on your fingertips here. Now you can either stay in this position, or if you'd like to take a nice side stretch, you can lift the left arm. You're reaching the left arm, getting that nice opening through the whole left side body. And try to avoid the head hanging here. You do want to use the muscles in the neck and the spine. Keep your head aligned with the neck. Inhale, bring your hands back to the ground. Come into your wide leg forward fold. Now from here, walk both hands to the right. And forward into a lunge, standing split. Left leg in the air. You're at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift that left heel a little bit higher. And on the exhale, bring the knee to nose again with control. Kick back through the inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, move with control. 1 more, inhale, kick back, lengthen the spine. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back, and step back into your lunge position. Left hand to the ground, right arm to the sky, twisted lunge. Breathing here. Continue to rotate the right ribs and the right shoulder back. You're turning your head to the sky. 1 more breath. Lower your hands and step back into a plank position. From your plank, take a breath in, and then lower down to your belly, either through knees or straight down. Baby Cobra, heart open. And then from here, lower down. You can bring the left arm forward. You can use this arm like a pillow. Quad stretch on the right leg. Bend the right leg and hold the top of your foot. There's a couple options here. First of all, make sure that the inner thighs pull together. So you want to make sure that you bring the legs together behind you. You can either lower your head, or you can stay in a modified variation here, lifting the chest and using that left arm as a stabilizer. Now in this quad stretch, push your hips to the floor, and then imagine pushing that right knee toward the back wall. You're imagining you're lengthening the femur bone out of the hip socket on the right side, so that leg gets longer, more space in the hips, quad. Very gently release the right leg. Sphinx pose. Bring both arms forward, palms to the ground, and your forearms to the ground. Now make sure that your elbows are at the same distance apart as your shoulders. Very often we try to bring the elbows wide here. So as the elbows draw a little closer together, you can bring the right knee up towards the right shoulder. We're in a half froggy position. And then in this half froggy position, you also want to draw the heart forward. So you're lifting the chest, make a sphinx pose. Try to avoid the head hanging here. Again, you want to be looking forward, lift the heart. One more breath here. Now, very gently, you want to stretch the right leg back. Slide your hands down beside the low ribs to come a little bit lower towards the cobra. Squeeze the elbows towards the back side. And then you want to lift the chest, coming into your upward facing dog. The arms are straight, shoulders are nice and strong. You can lift your knees off the ground. And then tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Lift the hips, ground through the heels. Let's take a few breaths here. And your fingers are spread wide. You're grounding through the heels. And then from here, look forward, come down to your knees, tabletop position. From your table, this time stretch the left leg back. Again, if you look at the toes, they're pointing straight to the ground, and so the hips are square. And then the right arm stretches forward. You're reaching in opposite directions towards the front wall and through the back heel. And on the exhale, contract. Draw the knee and elbow together without swinging the arm and leg. Inhale, expand. Again, as you exhale, you're contracting from the mid-body. Inhale, expand. 3 more. Exhale. Controlled movement. Inhale. 2 more. Inhale, stretch. Last one, nice and slow. And then lower your hand and lower your knee. Downward dog. Hips high. Ground through the heels and then lift your left leg. Again, your hips are square. Left toes point to the ground. On the exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Warrior 1 on your exhale, step forward. Lower the back heel and bring the arms up. From this warrior on the exhale, cactus the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift up. Again, exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift up. Really using the strength from the back body. Exhale, cactus. Hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Your right thumb over, or left thumb over the right. Lift your chest, and then humble warrior. Fold forward. Left shoulder to the left thigh. You can relax your head. And lift the arms. Lower the hands. Wide leg forward fold. Walk your hands to the right. Turn both feet in the same direction. Take a halfway lift. Turn the toes out. Heels in. Chandrasana to the left. You're coming into a side lunge. You can lift The right toes, you're on the heel of the right foot, and again, either keep your fingertips to the ground, or you can take a nice side stretch with the right arm. Really feeling that whole right side of the body open. Into the right body. Bring both hands back, come back to left, lunge position, and then standing split. Right leg in the air, you're at the top of your mat. Exhale, knees, nose, round the shoulders, tuck your chin. Kick back and lengthen halfway. Exhale, knees, nose. One more. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knees, nose. Inhale, kick back, lunge. Step back with the right leg. Right hand to the ground, left arm to the sky, twisted lunge. Continue to draw the left ribs, the left shoulder back. One more breath. Lower your left hand, plank position. From your plank, you can take your Chaturanga halfway, and then all the way down to your belly. Baby Cobra, lift your heart. And then coming into your left side quad stretch. Again, you can bring your right arm forward and use this arm to either lift the chest, or you can lower your head down. Make sure that the inner thighs are pulling together behind you. You're pushing your pelvis to the floor and sending that left knee toward the back of the room. One more breath. Release. Bring your arms into a Sphinx pose. Palms to the ground, elbows to the floor. Again, your elbows are the same width as the shoulders, so a little more narrow than you might think. And that left leg slides into a half froggy position. Continue to pull the chest forward. Two more breaths here. Last one. Slide the left leg back. Bring your hands down beside the low ribs for upward facing dog. Inhale, lift the chest, straighten the arms, shoulders strong. Lift the knees. And then tuck the toes for down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Fingers spread wide, heels grounding here. This time lift the right leg, and you can stack the right hip, so you're lifting the right hip higher than the left. You can either point the toes here, or you can bend the knee. You want to continue to push that left heel to the ground, and then draw the right shoulder towards the ground just a little bit here. Shoulders are square, hips are stacked. Take one more breath. And then straighten that right leg on the exhale, knees to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knees to right elbow, stay inside. Kick back for the inhale. Warrior two, step forward. Lower the back heel and the arms rail up. Now in this warrior two, you want to make sure that the shoulders are stacked over the hips. So sometimes we tend to lean forward. Imagine somebody is holding the left fingers and they're sliding your upper body back. You're gazing over top of the right fingers. And you're in a nice strong lunge. Now from here, slide back. Lower the left arm and lift the right, exalted warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front leg for Trikonasana. Slide your body forward. You can either lower that right hand to your thigh, your shin, or have it hovering just above the ground. Make sure that the head doesn't hang. Again, your neck is nice and strong. Make sure that left shoulder is rolling back. One more breath. Rise, come back up, and then turn both feet the same direction. So you're in a wide leg stance, toes out, heels in, arms up, and then goddess, come down to a lunge. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Let's do two more. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower them down. One more. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Straighten the legs. And then bring your hands to your waist. We'll take a pyramid pose. So now you're turning both feet towards the front of the room. Now pyramid, you can either have your legs wide as they are now. You can also shorten your stance if you prefer. You want to bring the hips as square as possible. So that means left hip forward, right hips back. And then start to fold over the front leg. Now you're continually drawing that right hip back. If you prefer, you can come a little lower, bring your fingertips to the ground. Do another couple of breaths here. Now, from wherever you are, bend the standing or the front leg. Fingertips to the ground, standing split. Left leg in the air. And on your exhale, knee to nose. Take your hands around the shin. And we're coming into a standing knee to chest. Take a moment to release your toes and your ankles. Then from here, we're opening into Chandrasana, tree pose. So you can open that left knee. And then place the foot either below or above the right knee. If you find that balance is challenging today, please feel free to toes to the ground. Start to play with whichever arm position you like. The hands together in heart. The arms up. Branches of your tree. Shoulders soft. Turn the palms up, right in, but back slightly. This is going to rotate the shoulders a bit. Hands together, and then float the hands to your heart. Bring that left knee back to center. Give forward, and then you're tipping forward, top leg tree pose. So now the left leg back. As you tip forward, you want to make sure those left toes are pointing straight to the ground, chest forward, and then lower your fingertips to the ground, back in standing split. Step back, lunge position, left hand to the ground, right arm to the sky, twisted lunge. Ardha-Vinyasa, modified side plank. Now the outer edge of the left foot gives the right leg like a stabilizer. Inhale, reach forward, lift the hips. And on the exhale, reach back and lower the hips down. Again, inhale, reach forward, lift. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, lift. Place the right hand on the ground. You're in a modified, rather in a plank with the knee to chest. Kick the right leg in the air, three-legged dog. And then as you look forward, three-legged plank, and come through your flow. Chaturanga, up dog or Cobra, and back into your down dog. 5 breaths. If you'd like to come to your child's pose, you can also take your child's pose here. Two more breaths. If you're in child, come back to your down dog. And then lift your left leg. This time stack the left hip. Again, you can either point the toe or bend the knee. And then bring the shoulders a little more square. So left shoulder to the ground or pulling down towards the ground slightly. Straighten the legs. And on the exhale, knee to nose. Kick back, inhale. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Same side. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, warrior two. Windmill the arms up. And again, shoulders are stacked over the hips. From here, slide back. Lower the right arm, exalted warrior, left arm to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Trikonasana, slide forward. Lower that left hand. And the right arm to the sky. Again, the head is not hanging, the head is nice and strong, aligned with the neck and spine. Rise from here. Turn both feet to the side. Toes out. Heels in. Arms up. Goddess stance. Come down. You're in your lunge. The knees are moving towards the back wall. So you're opening nice and wide through the lunge. Tuck the tail and lift the chest. Take one more breath. Straighten the legs. Bring your hands to your waist. Turn towards the front of the room. Pyramid pose. If you prefer to keep the legs wide here, please do. Otherwise, you're shortening the stance if you did on the other side. And then slowly bringing it forward. You can place your fingertips to the ground or keep your hands on the waist. Left hip back, right hip forward. Getting that nice opening through the left side body. Through the left glute. And that left leg. Take another breath. From here, bend the left leg, standing split, right leg in the air. And on the exhale, knee to nose. You want to hold that left leg and come into your standing Pigeon Post, right knee to chest. Release the ankle, release the toes. We'll open into a tree pose, or Shavasana, and you can place that foot at the same height that you did on the other side. And then you choose your arm positioning today. Have your hands together. Lift the arms. Open the branches. Or you can bring the hands behind your back. Reverse prayer. Bring your hands back in front of your heart center. Bring the right knee through center. Kick forward. And then tip forward. You're kicking back. Top leg tree. The right leg back. Fingertips to the ground. We're in a standing split. And then step back into your lunge. Right hand to the ground. Left arm to the sky. Ardha modified side plank. Inhale, reach forward, lift the hips. And as you exhale, reach back. Lower the hips slightly. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Lower the left hand, bring your knee to nose. Inhale, kick the left leg back. And then from here, three-legged plank. And then flow, Chaturanga, up dog or cobra, back into your down dog. Again, 5 breaths. If you prefer to come to child's pose, you can also lower the knees and sit your hips back. Two more breaths. You're in child, come back into your table and through your down dog. Lift your right leg. And on the exhale, knee to nose. Kick back, inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow, same side. Kick back, inhale. Knee across the body, left elbow. Kick back. And then lunge position. Now from your lunge, you're keeping your back knee and your back heel lifted. Now as you're lunging into the front leg, pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. You want to square the hips, lift the navel to spine, and then float the hands to the sides of the body, palms facing down. You're leaning forward. You can lift the back heel, and it's almost like you're launching forward here. Reach the arms forward. Take another breath. Now inhale, lift, Chandrasana, crescent lunge. And on the exhale, lower your hands. Now from here, standing split, left leg in the air. We'll take half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Keep the right fingertips to the floor, left hand to your waist. Stack the left hip. You can lift that left leg a little higher. Start to turn your body to the left here. Then you can lift the left arm to the sky if you choose. You could also choose a variation where you bend the left leg, hold the foot, coming into your modified variation, getting that nice quad stretch and the hips are open. Let's do one more breath here. Stretch that leg if you're holding the foot. Both fingertips to the ground, hips square, knee to nose, and then lower the left foot. Take your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Hatha-Vinyasa, index and middle fingers around the big toes as you fold. Relax your head, your shoulders, and your neck. You can absolutely bend the knees here, or you can also straighten the legs and imagine pushing your inner thighs toward the back wall. Now release your hands and we'll roll to standing vertebrae by vertebrae. Letting each vertebrae stack as you bring yourself up. Bring your shoulders to your ears. And then roll them back and down. Asana, mountain pose. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Left leg back. Now lower the back knee and walk the right foot to the side. Both hands are at the instep. Start to pull the heart forward, and you can either start to play around here. If you find that this already feels like a nice deep opening and you'd like to keep the hands on the ground, you can. Second variation is coming into a twist, right hand to the right thigh, and you're twisting open. Again, this is a great spot to stay. Third variation is to bend the back leg and reach the right arm back to hold the foot. Now, wherever you are, make sure that you're not past your 80% zone. If you feel like you're in pain, if you feel like this is too far, then please honor your guidance, your inner guidance above mine always. And if you are in this variation with the back leg bent, make sure that you're rolling the right shoulder back and lifting the heart. Release the back leg if you're holding it. Bring both hands to the ground. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee and come into a three-legged plank. Right leg up. Chandrasana. Up dog or cobra. And then back into your downward facing. Lift your left leg. Knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Knee to right, left elbow, same side. Inhale, kick back. Knee across the body to right elbow. Kick back. And then into your lunge. From your lunge, keep the back knee and back heel lifted. Square the hips. And then the hands float to the sides of the body, palms facing down. Lift the back heel. Maybe reach forward. Remember your breath. Inhale, lift the upper body. And on the exhale, lower your hands down. Standing split, right leg in the air. And then setting up in our Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, left fingertips to the ground. Right hand to your waist. And then you're stacking the hips. Right hip on top of the left. You can start to turn your whole body towards the right side of the room. Maybe lift that right arm, or maybe take your bind. Another breath here. Release that right leg, both hands to the ground, hips square, knee to nose, and lower the right foot. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Hatha-Vinyasa, so this time you're sliding your whole hand under your foot. If not, you can always take that variation with the index and middle fingers. If you slide your whole hand under your foot, bring your toes as close to your wrists as possible. And then start to lean a little bit more weight into the toes. Relax your upper body, your elbows, your shoulders, the back of your neck, your jaw. Release your hands. Take your halfway lift, extend the spine, and then sit back into a chair pose. Utkatasana, arms forward. And then fold here. Step back with your right leg this time. Lower the knee, untuck the toe, and step the left foot to the side, toes pointing out. Again, your hands are on the mat here. You can either choose to stay and play here. Second variation, left hand to the thigh, take a twist, start to rotate open. Third variation, bend the back leg and hold the top of the foot. And again, please listen to your body above my guidance. Make sure that you're always rotating open here, rotating that left shoulder back, ribs open, keep the chest open. Steady breath. Release the back leg, bring both hands to the mat, lift the back knee, and step into your three-legged plank. Come through flow, Chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Exhale for pigeon pose, come forward. Right knee to the right wrist. I think I said lift your right leg, but now I'm questioning that, so it's right knee to right wrist. And pigeon pose here. And then you want to lift the heart, proud pigeon. Now as you lift the chest, you're also pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward, squaring the hips even here. Now, you can either choose to stay upright today, or you can also come down and recline. Please note, if you choose to recline, you want to continue to pull the chest forward. It's not an excuse to release the whole upper body and become lazy. Instead, we actually want to use the muscles along the back body to keep the chest extended. So we're strengthening and toning even here. And if you chose to stay upright, this is where you can play around with your balance. You can also play around with variations, like your quad stretch or mermaid, king pigeon. From here, you've got the back leg released. Let's all come into a reclined variation. We'll take 5 breaths here. And again, if you are reclined, chest forward. Continuing to keep that alignment, you're looking forward slightly. Back of your neck is long, chest open, shoulders drawn back. You can even take this variation with the chest lifted, even if you've got your forehead or your chin to the ground. Simply avoiding rounding the shoulders. From here, back up, proud pigeon, and you want to sit down onto the right sit bone. Swing the left leg forward and cross it over top of the right. Now, coming into our Ardha Chandrasana, which is a seated twist. If you feel like that left sit bone is not touching the ground, you're actually going to bring the left leg back slightly. Alternatively, you can even straighten that front leg. Just make sure that the left sit bone touches the ground, please. And then from here, left arm to the sky, and then fingertips to the ground. You can hug the knee with the right arm. To go deeper, you could actually bring that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh and continue to rotate. Bring yourself back through center. And from here, place your hands on the ground. We're coming back through that pigeon pose. So you're going to swing that left leg back. And then from here, from your pigeon, 3-legged dog, right leg in the air. You can stack the hips. Get that nice opening through the front of the hip here. If you'd like to flow, you can flow here before we take the other side. Chandrasana, up dog or Cobra, and then back into your downward facing. To the other side, lift your left leg, and then pigeon pose, knee to left wrist. Send the right leg back, get long first, and then starting your proud pigeon. Left hip back, right hip forward. And again, if you choose to recline, you can do so now. Otherwise, you can start by bending that back leg and playing around with your other variations here, mermaid and pigeon. Release the back leg and we'll all recline for the next 5 breaths. Lift back up and sit down onto the left sit bone. And you want to swing the right leg forward and over top of the left. Again, please adjust yourself as necessary. If you need to straighten the left leg, you can do so, making sure that that right sit bone touches the ground. Right arm to the sky, bring it back and behind you, and then you can hug your knee. Again, you can also bring that left elbow to the right thigh if you prefer a deeper twist. Try to avoid leaning back into that right hand. You actually want to be using the muscles along the back body and in the core that are keeping you upright here. So you're not leaning into the back hand. Get back through center. Let's come back through that pigeon pose. Swing the right leg back. Tap the back toe, lift the back knee, 3-legged dog, left leg in the air. You can stack your hip. And then come through a flow, final flow before we come into our closing series. And then from here, come to your knees. You want to sit down in the middle of your mat. So we'll come into a wide-legged seat. You don't have to open the legs to 100%. You can actually come to about 80%, and that's more than okay. Untuck the flesh of the sit bones. You might even untuck the thighs. You're flexing or pointing the feet. I find flexing always feels a little better on my body, but you might prefer pointing. Make sure that the feet are active, and then start to walk the hands forward. So you might find that you're reaching and starting to round the spine. Try to avoid this by placing the fingertips to the ground in front or behind of you, and lift the chest. So you actually want to feel that extension of the chest. If you have walked the hands forward, it's the same thing. You keep drawing the shoulders back, chest forward, and never sacrificing posture to go deeper in the pose. Lift yourself back. You take your hands under your knees and help your knees together. Give yourself a little hug here. Coming out of that very open shape. You take a boat pose and boat pose variation. So you've got your knees bent. Now, if you find that boat is challenging, you can always keep your hands behind you here. Fingers are pointing forward. And then you can come into a variation like this with the legs lifted. It'll be very similar if you've got the arms extended forward. Keep the inner thighs active. Imagine you're holding a block between the knees. And you can either stay here or you can flow with me as you inhale, straighten the legs and lean back. Ardha, Shavasana. Exhale, contract, come back into your boat. Again, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale. Lower your feet. Come to your forearms, and then roll back one vertebrae at a time. Pull the right knee to your chest. We'll set up in figure 4 position. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. You can pull both knees to your chest. If you find this is a little bit too intense, you can always keep that left foot on the floor and then push that right knee forward with the right hand. Now, as you release your hands, keep your legs crossed in this position. So you still got the right ankle over the left thigh. And then from here, the legs fall to the left. So you've got the right foot on the ground. And then bring your arms either into a T or a cactus shaped position, and then turn the head to the right. Bring your head through center, and the knees back through center, and then uncross the legs. Pull your left knee to your chest, right foot is on the floor. Get set up in figure 4 on the other side. Cross your left ankle over the right knee. And again, you're either pushing the left knee forward or you're pulling both knees to the chest. As you release your legs, keep your legs in the same position. You're placing the right foot on the floor, and then let both knees fall to the right. Again, your arms come into a wide T or cactus shape. Turn your head to the left. Bring your head back. Bring your legs back through center and pull both knees to your chest. We're coming into our final pose, Shavasana. So if you feel that there are any other movements you need before we come down into Shavasana, that movement to help. When you feel ready, you're getting yourself comfortable here, lying in a symmetrical position. So get yourself open, arms open, legs open, and then settle into a comfortable position here. And as you lie here in your Shavasana, you can start to feel your entire body soften. Your feet and your ankles and your heels, they'll soften. Your lower legs and your upper legs, your hips. Get nice and heavy. Your low back, your belly, your ribs and your chest. Shoulders, your arms, your hands. chest, your throat, your chin, your jaw, tongue, and your teeth. And then your nose and your brow bone, and your eyelids, everything completely relaxed. So deepen your breath. And allow that breath to come into movement, very slow and quiet. Take this time as you bring yourself back into a seated position. No rush, no sense of urgency. Move as slowly as you need this morning. Thank you for showing up for your body, your mind, your spirit, sharing this space. Namaste.